Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis. And today, we're going to be talking about Xinfin Network, aka XDC, so let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So, first off, we are going to be starting over here from the XDC Foundation. This is the first week of September, from September 4th to the 10th. And it was a very busy week indeed. And here we have a few insights. Let me just play this real quick. Let me mute this, and we will talk about a few of the discussions. So first off, the XDC network represented at ITFA Porto 2022. We have a ton of things to talk about around this conference, but it was one of the biggest things to really kind of, not only see where Xinfin is positioned, but we also got an incredible insight on things happening behind the scenes with some very large players. And that was one of the biggest ones that we have been waiting for a while. But this was not the only major thing that was happening. We also seen Securrency to integrate with XDC Network. We are going to be talking about this in this video. Definitely stay tuned to that. This is also very large. And we do see down here like Securrency, a leading blockchain-based financial markets infrastructure and products company, announced that it will deploy its proprietary digital asset composer on the XDC Network, which is also extremely huge. And then over here we do see XDC Network bounties are live through the sponsorship of XDC Foundation. Bounties for developers on the XDC network are now live and will enable participants to be rewarded in XDC for their contributions. And I believe that this is the final announcement. Yep, that is. But there was quite a bit of things to really kind of look into. I know that these kind of look like nothing on, this video, but when we really kind of break them down, they are significant. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So first and foremost, shout out to Andre Kasserman, but we did see a little bit of an insight on tokenization, NFTs, trade finance, security tokens, all of that, and this is all from the ITFA conference. We do see down here, digital assets, tokenization, NFTs, and security tokens were key talking points at the 2022 ITFA conference in Porto. The XDC network was well represented, and up here we do see a few breakdowns from Andre Kasserman. So Xinfin's partnership with Trade Tech was showcased last week at ITFA's annual conference that took place in Porto. We onboarded dozens of delegates on Trada, which is the first security token that bridges trade finance originators and retail investors, which also you love to see that, they onboarded dozens of delegates, which is awesome to see because, again, that is adoption of the traded token, which does provide a little bit of an insight on who those individuals actually are. I would argue that's probably a lot of the names that were in the background. Of course, they were sponsors of this conference, but I do think that they play a role here at some point in time. We still have a lot of NDAs in place, so we don't know exactly what's happening behind the scenes, but hey, we can kind of assume, right? But also, we do see a first ever, as we like to say in the banking industry, but this one will last, and some TFD initiative originators already benefit from this additional funding source. We also covered NFTs as per DNI initiative in Indonesia, which Lloyd's Banking Group already adopted to deliver the first ever digital promissory note tracked on DLT, which we did discuss, and discussed what the future will bring with metaverses such as the Swiss MetaBlocks powered by XDC, or I should say Xinfin's XDC network. The DLT train has left the station, and as always, laser focus on specific use cases is key to unlock new value for tracking asset life cycles, as Inizio does. For paying and settling instantly as Impo powered by XDC network does, for sourcing liquidity as XDC tech does, for powering metaverse as MetaBlocks does. Combining traditional technologies with new ones is again confirmed as a recipe for success. Don't fear progress as taxi drivers who fought Uber. Just embrace new trade tech options developed by the cleverest in the market and grow your own business. And yes, this is why I say the adoption of crypto is key. Listen, it's inevitable. This entire market, all of these technologies that we talk about are going to be adopted in. Why? Because they cannot afford to miss out on this. This is probably one of the biggest, if not the largest, innovation in the history of tech. And when we really kind of look at XDC, everything here is powered by XDC. XDC is the main bread and butter. This is why I say XDC going forward is going to be a huge player focus on XDC. And also from the TFDI, we do see thank you ITFA for the amazing event last week at the 48th ITFA conference. And they do talk about the key focus here on digital innovation with TradeTech's launch of the Traded token. And here you can kind of see a few of those names that I was talking about. Yes, we know that TradeTech was completely spotlighted on at the center point, as you guys do see down here, and you do see XDC being spotlighted too. But if you look in the background, look at some of those names. I said this in my last video as well on XDC. These names are substantial, and seeing XDC next to all of them is something remarkable. And, there was other names here too, like Santander, HSBC. These are some very large banking clients, so definitely pay attention to this as things kind of unfold within the trade finance area. And let's talk about the big one, Securrency. So, Securrency is pleased to announce integration of our proprietary digital asset composer with the XDC network. Now, what does this mean? This is actually going to be pretty large for XDC, I would assume at least, because when we really kind of look at this and compare it to what we know about Securrency, it is pretty substantial. But let's actually talk about this. So XDC Network to integrate groundbreaking DeFi and compliance technology from Securrency. Securrency, a leading blockchain-based financial markets infrastructure and products company, announced today that it will deploy its proprietary digital asset composer on the XDC network, a state-of-the-art blockchain with a mature ecosystem and a particular focus on real-world applications in global trade and finance. And down here, we do see a little bit of an insight on this. So it will allow the XDC network community to easily compose financial instruments and entire DeFi protocols, fractionalize real-world assets, RWAs, and create highly customized utility NFTs. Remember what I said about tokenization and how large that actually is? Yeah, this is the start of it. And down here we do see through the deployment of Digital Asset Composer, the XDC network aims to empower its users with more powerful and convenient means of creating value on blockchain networks than existing DeFi tools that have proliferated in recent years. Using Digital Asset Composer along with pre-populated asset class building blocks, users will be able to rapidly create and customize a variety of DeFi protocols that span lending and borrowing, yield aggregation, asset management, and derivatives. The result is a community of network users who are empowered to create entirely new protocols as well as to extend their own versions of the most popular protocols in the market much more rapidly than is currently possible. This is going to be huge. And we even do see down here, like, this is an important development for the XDC network ecosystem and for institutional adoption of digital assets. I completely agree. Our collaboration with Securrency addresses several regulatory and institutional stakeholder concerns regarding establishing and maintaining control of assets, especially in regards to regulated financial instruments such as digital bonds, trade finance distribution, stablecoins, and even CBDCs. This is going to be awesome to see. I'm very excited for this. This not only solidifies where we have been positioning XDC, but it also solidifies where we are currently. Remember what I said about XDC for the longest time. Pay attention to things like this that really kind of put it up on a pedestal compared to most in this market, because everybody does overlook XDC. I've been seeing so many comments about, is XDC a scam? Is XDC a rug pull? It's absolutely insane the type of questions that I get around XDC simply because people just kind of overlook it. There's not a lot of information out there on it. And not only that, but I would argue that, for the most part, this entire market is kind of oblivious to what XDC is actually doing at this current moment in time. This is why I say, right now, I am focused on these projects. I am focused on what is happening around this market, specifically around trade finance and digitization and tokenization. These are the big areas. This is the big money use cases that I honestly think a lot of people are just ignoring because of how boring they are compared to the bigger ones that everyone is so aware of currently. But hey, that's okay. That's fine. I will welcome that, because when we go and look at a company like Securrency, empowering frictionless financial freedom for all, this is their motto. You can look at all of the things that have happened in the recent timeline for Securrency, enabling a new generation of economic freedom, the power of decentralized technology for industry trailblazers, and we do see a few things down here as they do kind of mention. And then over here, we also do see their partners. So this is pretty big. So you go and look at their partner list, and they are already partnered with, Stellar, for an example, US Bank, etc. Some names that we all know. But then there's one that really kind of stands out to me, and that is State Street. Why is State Street, a big name? Well, Let's go over to this article going back a little bit to August 29th. And remember, we just talked about tokenization and fractionalization in this post here, which was kind of talking about it, as well as I think the video over here did say it. I'm pretty sure, or maybe it didn't. But all we know is that tokenization and also fractionalization is huge. And I think it might have actually been this one. Yeah, so sorry, fractionalized real world assets. So this is like from Securrency themselves. This is that announcement article. I thought it was in the LinkedIn post. I apologize. But over here, we do see State Street sees significant opportunity in tokenization. Bank working on tokenizing funds and private assets in 2023 to improve efficiency and accessibility for clients, executive says. This is pretty big because, again, when we come down here and we go to the product roadmap down here, I believe it's in the end down here. Yeah, so here we have it, Securrency. The custody bank participated in the $30 million Series B round for blockchain-based financial and regulatory technology firm Securrency in April of 2021. Another investor in the round was Wisdom Tree. And again, when you look at Wisdom Tree, kind of funny, but guess who else is over here on the partnership list? Wisdom Tree. And we do see, investments whose CEO said that virtually all financial assets will eventually come to the blockchain through tokenization. I completely agree. This is pretty big. Again, I want you guys to pay attention to the partnerships that they do have here because they all play a big role in what is happening through a name like, again, State Street. And I don't know if they mentioned anything about the significance here. So I know that they have an assets under custody and administration worth about like $42.6 trillion as of June 30th. Its asset management arm had $3.9 trillion in assets at that time. I would argue that this is bigger than, when you look at BlackRock, for an example. I know that they have $10 trillion in assets under management, but I mean, come on. $42.6 trillion assets under custody and administration. That's a very large amount of money. This is a big company that wants to tokenize. They want to push volume and value over the blockchain. And here they are working already with Securrency, which just announced a partnership with XDC to tokenize real-world assets through fractionalization and also create highly customized utility-grade NFTs. Are you kidding me? I mean, come on. This is absolutely insane to me. This is why I say, focus on the assets that nobody cares about. Focus on the assets that nobody's talking about. I'm still a very small YouTuber. Listen, I just recently hit 50,000 subscribers. First off, thank you to everyone out there who is a long-term subscriber or even a new subscriber. It really does mean the most to me. But listen, 50K is not much compared to these bigger guys. And I'm actually very happy about that number because, listen, I still am able to post incredible in-depth videos on projects like XDC, allowing you individuals to learn about these projects before they blow up. XDC to me is a very undervalued and under the radar gem that nobody's talking about. No big YouTubers are talking about XDC right now. Most of them, like most of the YouTubers I see, are like in the tens of thousands, possibly not even hitting like the 100,000 plus mark just yet. With a select few named there, but this is an asset that not a lot of individuals are paying attention to. And I would say that tokenization is probably going to be the biggest thing here to pay attention to. State Street is no joke. This is a no joke company, and they know the overall value proposition here in regards to tokenization, in regards to blockchain and crypto itself. And I'm very happy to see these connections between something like Securrency. And I'm telling you guys, pay attention to XDC right now. Pay attention to the connections being built. Trade finance is only the beginning, guys. That's all I'm going to say. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.